Hello, hello. Are we live?
I think we're live.
It would appear so. So welcome to Hype Fixation of the Week, where this is Phoenix 316, and I just whooped your...
What's this? It's Jordyn from off the top of a ladder, and here comes Victoria with a steel chair. And...
Oh yeah, the Macho Madness Randy Savage coming in here to show you the snap into a Slim Jim. Oh,
And
yeah.
peeking the mic. Lean the mic a little bit away from your face.
Bite my face.
I need to fix this audio.
So if it's not clear to everyone and how I am ruining my voice right now, this is a very special episode with, what is this? WWE Wrestling! With special guest, my father!
You're supposed to say, my dad, in like the Muscle Man
No.
voice.
Why does that sound really creepy?
No, it's a reference to a TV
It's
show
a reference
that
to a
most
TV
kids
show.
our generation grew up watching.
Sure
About
thing,
some guy
Dragon
who would
Bell.
constantly make your mom jokes, but always say his mom.
It's pronounced touche.
Anyways.
So, welcome to
I'm going to be
Hyperfixation
almost
of the
completely
Week.
silent this episode, and also
Yeah.
I'm being threatened with no home-cooked food if I don't upload this ASAP.
That's damn right.
And for those,
you listen here, son.
and the reason that we are doing this week specifically, even though we've talked about it since week 1,
This has been discussed
this
since
past
week
weekend was WrestleMania, where
WrestleMania.
the greatest event of the year for people who like wrestling, who like watching
Who like fake wrestling.
Professional wrestling.
professional
Get it
wrestling.
right.
Sorry,
The
had
moves
to.
they're doing are real.
Had to,
They're
had
just
to,
pulling
had
their
to.
punches. Where you watch a bunch of grown men and women beat each other up, including Jake Paul getting thrown, Logan Paul and ISO Speed getting absolutely thrashed.
I wish Jake Paul got beat up.
He will by Mike Tyson.
Yay!
No, it's an ear bite. He's gonna get Holyfield.
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna start off. Hey, Pops, your wife just said fake fighting.
No.
That's okay. We can real fight when I get home.
That's it. Let it be known.
That's a
That
joke.
is a
That's
joke.
Joke,
That is a joke.
parody joke, parody
Joke parody joke parody joke.
No, we're gonna do it. It's gonna be a tag team match. It's gonna be me and Jarvis versus her and Sarah. The dog is Jarvis, by the way.
Of course, he's your tag team partner.
You think he's gonna tag with anybody else? Let's
Jarvis
be
is a dirty fighter, and you know it.
I would know.
I would know.
No, I would know specifically.
Yeah, if Phoenix and Jarvis had a special relationship, he would get pinned by Phoenix. Or Jarvis would pin Phoenix on the regular, and yeah. He made sure it was known.
That sounds horrifying.
One time he pounced on me.
That was
sounds-
awesomely funny, too.
Like, literally pounced on me and then started licking me.
That sounds like a dog.
That sounds terrible. Anyways, so...
You wish.
Anyways, so let's talk about the subject at hand.
WWE. So, hey, what is WWE?
Do we really need to I know we explain like all the games and shows we talk about. Do we really need to explain this?
There might be one. I know we have a Scottish listener. I don't know if they know about WWE.
I'm
it's a
right
global
here. I
thing.
know like nothing about this.
Oh, so it's the hockey episode all over.
WWE is World Wrestling Entertainment.
Formerly WWF.
World
Formerly-
Wrestling Federation.
Formerly WWWF. The Worldwide Wrestling Federation before Vince McMahon bought it from his father and stole the company.
And,
T.
and that's the last we'll talk about Vince McMahon, because that guy's a piece of shit.
No, we'll mention him. We'll just make sure to reiterate that we hate
There's
his
some-
guts.
And
that he's still a piece of shit.
And that WWE genuinely has gotten better since they kicked him out of the company.
There's some people who are just such pieces of shit that you have to mention them when you
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah, but
Like
no.
Jake Paul.
But no, WWE has genuinely gotten better. Like, at one point, there was, like, a great clip of commentators just commentating match, like, fast, like a puma. They don't talk about how fast pumas are. And she was like, this is so good.
Oh, so like Lindy Ruff and the Devils.
They're just having fun. Having fun, like, body slamming a streamer slash YouTuber dressed up as a Prime bottle through a table.
He was dressed as a prime.
I Show Speed was.
My dad wants to be on air with us.
You won't.
How do we get your dad on air? Other
The
than
same way we got your mom on the air. We told her you're on the air, you put the phone next to a mic.
that could work.
Did
It
we
worked
want to
last
set
time.
him up with the last mic?
Will your phone survive the episode?
No.
What's your charge at?
If someone's willing to donate a charger to
I don't
me,
have a charger.
Don't look at me, man.
I am looking at you, man.
He
And
doesn't
they
have
got,
he doesn't have an iPhone.
they
You're
got
right,
char-
because they suck.
they got chargers out in the John whatchamacallit.
Is there a
Whoa,
Okay.
we just went Philly in here. You said to John? Dude, really?
Jordan's from the Philly area.
That don't make it any better. It's still a horrible
Shut up,
sentence.
Central Jersey.
Y'all.
I
Damn
love the
right.
word John.
Wait. I thought you were also South Jersey.
I am South Jersey. He's Central Jersey.
Where Central?
I grew up in Trenton.
Ewing.
Suck it, Trebek.
Trenton is close enough to Central.
On the
okay.
is
Close
on
enough
the
to
195 corridor, which is dead
Okay.
center.
Okay, close enough.
Who made you the authority?
The governor.
Okay, so hey, George.
Middle
I do.
Middlesex.
Middle what?
Middle what?
That's North Jersey. Sorry.
Rhea
Middlesex
Ripley?
is not north.
It's above Monmouth.
Oh,
It's,
right.
it's
We'll
north.
get to Rhea.
No, the
We'll get to
literal
Rhea soon.
this
Hibbity,
Okay,
hibbity,
and
hibbity,
East
hibbity.
Brunswick is literally called
So
the
much
Central
for
Jersey.
actually,
Victoria,
staying
another,
on topic.
You're shouting.
Sorry.
Also, I want to bring up, so WWE, as it started, as much as it has the reputation for being fake, for being not actual, like, they're not actually trying to kill each other, in the
They're
beginning,
not, usually.
they kind of were.
No, they just
No.
were really, really good actors. And in the beginning, they put out all the locals out of business because it used to be a territory system.
Yeah, and now there's people, and there were people like the Awesome, and one of my favorite, Rowdy Piper, was just some Scottish guy in a kilt who would poke people in the eye.
He did a lot more than that.
He did a lot more than that. The point is that up until relatively recently, on the grand scheme of time as a universe, you know, you pronounce it kayfabe, right? I'm not crazy.
Yes, it's kayfabe.
Thank
Fake.
God. Because I know, I said kayfabe one time and someone got real snooty with me. He's like, excuse me, you pronounce it kayfabe? I'm like, oh,
It's
great.
kayfabe.
I want to kill you. Anyways, but
called
the
your K
kayfabe
stupid.
was kept up for a while until relatively recently, which meant that people legitimately just didn't know, unless, you know, you were familiar enough with the wrestling scene.
Hey,
that you-
hey
Yeah, it
George,
was-
in when you were younger, did your school talk about how WWE used ketchup to make the blood?
My school didn't talk about WWE.
Oh, I knew some people-
got all my interest in WWE from my dad.
Yeah, no, I had someone I knew who said like they would use ketchup, but no,
No,
if
that's blood.
yeah, no, if someone's bleeding,
It's called blading.
it's called someone messed up.
No, it's called
No,
blading.
It's called blading.
9 times out of 10, it's blading. If you ever look at some of the older guys, they have scars all over their foreheads because they actually would hide it in their wrist tape and they'd slash themselves. Or they would do the hard way, which means you punch them as hard as you can
Yep.
in the head. Terry Funk style.
WWE, there's also an artistry to what they do, because for example,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
the moves they're doing, they are doing real moves that if they mess up, one of them will be paralyzed for the rest of their life, or break a bone, or just die.
Hold on, Victoria. What do you think about all this as you scroll through?
I'm listening.
That's
Trust
normal.
me.
Victoria does that.
We all do
the
it.
Oh, no,
time.
that's why I just got to torture her. Just
No, we all
there.
do. Pops, we all do it.
I know.
Anyways,
But yeah, there is an artistry to what they do, because they're
It's
working
like-
together. They rehearse it, because if they mess up, one of them could die or be permanently injured for life.
Or
Even-
they call it in the ring. If you
Even
ever pay attention to
even
that.
then, even then, they can mess up. They will still get hurt. Famous wrestler Rey Mysterio, who most people know, do you know the current count on knee surgeries he's had?
More than he is tall.
that's not even a joke.
No, let's look at Buff Bagwell. Buff Bagwell in the middle of the ring on Monday Nitro got caught with a move where the guy accidentally missed him. He missed the top of his head, and when he landed, the guy's name is Rick Steiner. He hit Rick Steiner's back, which was so muscular, so hard, he actually broke his neck in the ring.
Yep.
And you saw his face live on TV, losing his mind, screaming, "Oh my God, I can't feel my legs!" But nobody else could hear because of the crowd. They rolled him over, and so Rick Steiner was going for the pin. His brother, Scott Steiner, ran out, kept going with the bit, hit Rick Steiner with a chair, grabbed Buff Bagwell screaming, "Please God don't, I can't move, I'm paralyzed." And you were watching all happen in the ring. Nobody heard it until after they did the 3 count. He goes, "I can't blank move," and it was all live on TNT.
For reference, for those of you who watch WWE, if you do ever see...
I'm sorry, you're just gonna brush past all that.
No.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Stop. Shut up. You're just gonna brush past that.
I'm going to bring
real.
up one thing to know when that happens. If you ever see a ref make an X across their body...
No, it's
someone-
not across
No.
their body. It's straight in the air like this with their arms up in the X form.
like
It's them trying to say, do something, one of the guys is hurt.
No,
we need
that's
to call an
immediately
audible.
saying medics.
Yes.
For instance, Jerry Lawler.
I also
On
saw
Monday
one.
Night
Shut
Raw, when he had a heart attack at the commentator's desk, and they still were calling the match, but trying to keep it going. So they're doing X's, and people are running down trying to bring Jerry Lawler, keep his heart going in the middle of the show.
Yep.
Owen Hart, when he fell from the top of the dome.
Oh, that's what I was gonna mention. Wasn't he
yeah.
suspended?
He was supposed to be strapped in as the Blue Blazer, and he was going to be lowered like a superhero. there was a 2 harness connection, and the one connection wasn't done because he was complaining it kind of cut him off at the junk a hair. So the other harness was connected, and as they lowered him, he was literally above the ring. He shifted the harness, and the D-ring let go, and he fell, I think it was like 150 feet,
Oh.
and
Yeah.
landed face first in a turnbuckle, and then flopped back into the ring. Jerry Lawler, same dude with the heart attack, slid immediately into the ring to try to help him before the EMTs could get there. And that was the first event where I noticed that they spent a half hour just panning the crowd and doing random weird interviews.
On that day, the wrestlers were told they could go out if they want. And the ones who didn't spent their time in the back rooms telling stories about Owen Hart.
It was Monday Night Raw, and they all came out and did their thing that night.
Very beautiful. WW, this is all to say.
It was also before you were born. How would
Yeah.
you know?
You told me.
First of all, how would you know? Second of all, this is all written directly addressed to everyone who calls it fake. It's not fake, it's scripted.
Yeah.
The action
Scripted
is
And
real.
story-
that
Storyline, you
it's
still get hurt.
very dangerous. Like, for example, one of the most famous moves by the Heartbreak Kid, Chris Jericho, is...
Wow, you better stop
Wait,
right
no.
there.
Shawn Michaels.
Wow, that hurt.
Hit the... Oh, God,
I'm
I just
sorry.
took psychic damage.
Sweet Chin Music.
That's like a D10, dude.
That's
Sweet Chin Music was...
No, it was a D1.
Which is a very... It's a simple
It's
move,
a super kick.
but very dangerous because it's just he snaps his kick and kicks you directly in the chin,
Heartbreak Kid
upwards.
Chris
No, he
Jericho.
doesn't. He slaps his hands and it makes it sound like it. He
Yep.
never actually connects.
There was one where I saw where he caught a guy in midair, where that's where he actually...
He didn't catch him in the head, though. That was
Yeah.
Shelton Benjamin, and he caught him in the chest. But as he was doing it, Shelton Benjamin was a high flyer. He knew how to flip backwards. He could control himself in the air. Not fly, actually flip. I know what your mom's saying now.
She said, for one, that Sarah, my sister, claims Jarvis, and that we didn't put her on the air. You've spent more time in South Jersey than Central Jersey, and that even she knew it, Shawn Michaels Chris Jericho mistake.
Wow, even your mom called you out. Wow, you suck.
Oh, my mom.
I'm tired.
My dad's trying to text in, but he's just barely behind on the conversation. So he's like, "Oh, the Heartbreak Kid's move is considered super cake in today's world, but for today's move, he called it chin music."
Sweet chin music.
Yeah, that's because there's
To be
an
fair,
audio
he's
delay.
He's using voice text, so some of it might not pick
Also,
up.
Jorts, there's an audio delay.
I know, honey.
They've got 30 seconds behind us.
You're an audio delay.
You're a towel.
You
Wow.
have purple hair.
No, it's more pinkish blonde.
It's pink.
It really
it's
is.
pink blonde right now. It actually looks quite...
It looks kind of tight.
Even though it's faded, it looks
Pink
really good,
lemonade.
actually. It looks really good
That is
faded.
basically exactly what my hair has faded to anytime I've dyed my hair any color but the blue.
Yeah, this is what purple
This
fades
is
do.
officially the second time they have lost track and purpose of the episode. We are now keeping track tally at 2.
Oh no, this happens every time. We're
Yeah.
starting to accept
I
it.
know that, but
You've
this is
heard
where
the
I'm
f-
actually doing the tallies.
You've heard the Fossil Fighters episode. You know how bad we can get.
I was sitting there throwing in half of the jokes in there. Said Dino Writers, Dino sucked.
Anyways.
Anyways, WrestleMania just happened with a lot of really cool matches.
We're going right back to WrestleMania. Let's do this.
Yeah, can we talk about Rhea Ripley?
Why do you want to talk about Rhea Ripley?
I love Rhea Ripley.
You have your 5-minute Rhea Ripley segment. Okay, so I got this. Oh my god.
Let's get into you and your obsession with a weird Australian chick who likes to wear way too much
Weird
makeup.
Australian chick are the disrespect.
She's Australian?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she got an Aussie accent. That was bad.
That was
What the hell
That
is
was
that,
awful.
Brit?
I thought
And Aussie
Australian.
accent.
Australian starts with British.
Oh
And
my God,
yet
don't
you
put
completely
your-
failed it.
Don't put your nose up at us.
Mom,
Okay,
we're
anyway.
not renaming the show.
To what?
ADHD Distractions of the Week. No, this is hyperfixation. We have the names.
We're fixating on the ADD.
Mom, we
Squirrel.
have names for every single season for the next few years.
We're fixating on shut up. Let's talk about the costumes from WrestleMania. I'm
Just for the
weirdly
record,
fixated on that.
Jordyn was not talking to you, Kathleen. She was fixating on Shut Up Phoenix. We're focusing on this.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I'm so sorry. I would never tell you to shut up. I mean telling your child to shut up.
What's a shove up? That's what you just said, shove up.
Shut up, Pops.
Yeah.
Suck it, Trebek.
I'm the radio host here. I can turn off your
Suck
mic.
a what?
I can turn off your mic at any point.
Suck it, Trebek. Watch NSNL.
I know.
Hey,
There you
Jorts.
Oh yeah, I forgot there was
This is 3, by the way.
segment with that.
Nope, that was muted too. Nice try.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Anyways, from Studio Shenanigans, can we just talk about WrestleMania, please?
Yes.
With the shenanigans.
Please. So WrestleMania was a very cool event with a lot of very cool matches. Like, for example, The Rock, he wrestled again. He doesn't do that often.
Jordyn, did you pick up on what they said, that The Rock and The Undertaker at WrestleMania are the only two wrestlers who have two very specific distinctions?
I did not hear that. What?
The Rock and The Undertaker, where it was announced at WrestleMania that those are the only two wrestlers who have one unique distinction that nobody else in wrestling currently has.
Which is?
In the WWE currently, they're the only ones who have been in 4 different decades during wrestling. 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and now 2020. They've all had a match.
Holy shit.
Rock is
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're
Well,
having a
The
moment.
Undertaker's did a match in like 2020 itself. So
Yes, that was his retirement.
yeah.
fun little fact.
First one or
about,
second one?
Dwayne Johnson.
What?
First or second?
The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock.
No, but I'm saying that specifically
The
because
Rock.
if my dad listens to this, he will know the story that I'm about to tell. One time,
About
my
Flex
dad
Cabana?
was he was working at a movie theater, and The Rock just came in
Yeah.
because he was doing like a book signing or something, and my dad didn't have anything to get signed, so we got like a napkin
Because he
signed.
actually wrote a book back in the 90s called Know Your Role.
Makes sense. The Rock was
yeah.
also
Then that's
The Rock's
what
also
that
from
is.
Pennsylvania.
I know, but this was
And
this
Florida
was
and
Brunswick
Hawaii
Square
and
Mall.
everywhere else.
Brunswick Square Mall is
He's from
useless.
everywhere.
But there's
He's
a big
from wherever you
there's
want
also a
him to
very
be.
big difference between Dwayne Johnson and The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson's an actor.
The Rock is
The Rock is a figure.
a staple, an
A
icon.
being.
For reference, if you ever watch him in wrestling,
electrifying.
completely different. For one thing,
Can you smell what he's
if
cooking?
he's in character, you never hear him say
Only
the
when he's in
word
the bathroom.
I
really don't
or
wanna smell what
me
he's cooking.
or my.
It's probably
He
don't
says
wanna
The
smell
Rock.
He speaks
That
in
is
third
part
person.
of why I made the
I'm
distinction of
The
actually saying
Rock
his name there.
thinks that
For-
you should.
for one
And
thing,
you remember what he was before he was The Rock?
before
Rocky
WrestleMania,
Maivia.
side conversations. Before WrestleMania, he showed up
We
to
are having
announce
a
to essentially
great
announce that he
enriching
was going to be at WrestleMania.
This is probably a
And-
nightmare to listen to.
I'm not joking. When he started a chant, I expected like, oh, it'll only go on for a little bit. And for the next like 1 to 2 minutes, it was just him sitting there as just the audience just kept going the chant that
I
he
love when that
at that
happens.
point had
Fruity
just like
Pebbles.
stopped, just letting it go.
When he got the entire arena to call John Cena Fruity Pebbles.
Because John Cena wears bright colors. And believe it or not, for WrestleMania this year,
Fruity Pebbles.
so we all see The Rock and go, oh, he's a good guy.
Fruity
He's The
Pebbles.
Rock. The Rock was a heel.
That was fantastic.
The
though.
Rock
It was amazing.
a dick.
But
Also-
why? Why was The Rock a heel?
Because
Because the audience
Bloodline.
went... Bloodline, yeah.
Wrong.
They set up something, but the audience went, no, we want Cody Rhodes to win
Also
the title.
because he
Correct.
was original. Yeah.
It was, they were talking about having The Rock do it, but then they listened to the WWE audience. When they were going to give it to The Rock on SmackDown, the whole place just lost their shit and said, we want Cody, we want Cody.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually doing a documentary right now about it, and they said we had to switch on a dime.
Because Cody Rhodes is a wrestler who isn't as famous as The Rock outside of wrestling. In wrestling, he's huge. Because right now, they're propping him up kind of similar to John Cena as the good boy.
Not similar to John Cena. They're propping him up as who could eventually, with enough time and writing and whatnot, could be the new quote unquote face of the company.
Yes.
But why?
Because everyone likes him.
He's just
But
a
no.
he's
Nepo
Why?
baby. Nepo baby, Nepo baby, Nepo baby, Nepo baby.
No, actually,
I know,
we're going to
I know.
mention names.
He's actually not the Nepo baby.
It's
I'm very
Vince
surprised.
McMahon's fault.
Really?
Vince McMahon hated Dusty Rhodes.
Yep.
And even when he brought Dusty
Oh,
Rhodes
yeah,
into
he
the WWE...
Giving him joke characters.
No, he gave him a great character, but he tried to embarrass him by having him come out in polka dots. And then gave him a manager, so he gave him a 60-year-old black woman named Sapphire, where everybody else got the hot 20-year-old chicks. And Dusty rolled with it. He loved it. He didn't care. Then Vince would not put the title on him.
I would love to be managed by a 60-year-old black woman named Sapphire. She
I'm
sounds
totally
great at
down.
she sounds great at her job.
She was. She's
probably... WWE managers are some of the meanest people. She's probably one of the best managers you can get.
She's decades older than all the other ones. She knows what she's doing. Anyways.
And then so Goldust, his son, Dustin Runnels, he came out. They refused to put the title on him, no matter how funny and awesome he was. Cody
He's
comes
an
in.
icon.
They screwed with his character, screwed with him. He left, created his own wrestling company, which is still in business now.
AEW,
left it.
right?
Yep. Came back, and Vince still was pushing for him not to have it last year. Now under the Triple H era, Triple H finally awarded him the title to finish a story that Dusty couldn't.
And everyone loves it because also people just like Cody Rhodes. He's really good.
Especially with his current characterization, like how he's fighting for, like they're kind of setting him up as like fighting for family and all
Is it-
that
yeah,
stuff,
it-
which kind of makes a lot of sense once you put it in the context of his family being so disparaged by the company.
Isn't he also like kind of like...
Also, his mom was like insane on the side.
Isn't he kind of like semi all-American boy?
He's the American nightmare. Get it right.
With a lisp.
So mind you, Cody Rhodes, if you look up a picture of him, he looks like
Cody Rhodes. He looks like Cody Rhodes.
he looks like the all-American boy.
With dyed blonde hair.
but with an edge. With an edge.
Yeah, no.
And the
he's-
weirdest tattoo on his
And a
neck
neck
that just
tattoo.
makes you want to slap him in the face and say, what were you thinking?
And then he'll just like
Laser
absolutely body
removal.
slam someone.
Laser tattoo removal.
No, good tattoo, bad placement. It just
Yeah.
looks awkward.
It's like laser tattoo removal, tattoo reapplication.
It's like you just got street tagged by somebody and just they ran by and spray painted on your neck
Also-
and ran.
just slap a sticker.
My mom
on
just
him.
pointed
Exactly.
out, because we are technically a radio station, Cody Rhodes, really good entry music.
Probably
Honestly,
written by the WWE.
If you ever want to like listen to,
You
just look
can
up,
find all of the songs on Spotify.
yeah, just look up WWE entrance music songs.
Cody Rhodes isn't on
They're
Spotify
all
yet for some
really
reason.
good.
But
WWE entrance music goes crazy.
some of them get the entire crowd singing, which is kind of amazing.
That's what I like the best. Like Cody
The-
had them.
The
You got
feeling of being
And
in a
Seth
crowd of
Rollins.
72,000 people, like singing along with someone's intro.
Yeah,
is,
and some wrestlers will play like Rhea Ripley, the wrestler we mentioned earlier. Her entry music has a giant beat drop, so as it happens, she raises her leg and just stomps
Yes,
the
yes,
ground
yes.
And yet
really
this
hard.
year, Rhea Ripley was brought in by the band who plays her song, Motionless in White,
Yep.
played
Yes.
live on the stage.
which some drunk guy next to me asked, "Is that Marilyn Manson?"
Did you throw him off the top?
I
God, I have to
wish
fix
I
that
could have
editing.
just like
Okay.
taken his. I don't know how many.
What
cans
makes
he
it
was,
better
but, like,
is the lead singer has like a passing resemblance to Rhea Ripley in that moment.
in the-
No,
I,
no,
A little bit.
no,
no.
no. She could break him.
She grab him.
For the record, what Jordyn is currently doing, she's making weird puppetry sounds and going pow, pow,
Also,
peekaboo, pew.
can we just appreciate Rhea Ripley?
Miming Rhea Ripley snapping his spine in half over her knee, crumpling him up like a piece of paper, throwing him on the ground, and stomping on him.
Can we just appreciate Rhea Ripley winning the Royal Rumble from
Can we
position
just
one?
appreciate Rhea Ripley?
So for those of you who
Not
don't,
this year, 2 years ago.
for those of you who don't know, the Royal Rumble is a big wrestling event that happens once a year, where they will.
Like WrestleMania.
So it starts with 2 people. All right, 2 people in the ring, standard match, right? Your goal is to get the other guy out of the match. I said it starts with 2 people. There are 30 people who will enter. You have to be the last one in there. She started at position 1. Royal Rumbles go for hours.
That is a full out, full tilt, 100% straight up
I thought
lie.
they do. Don't they go for hours?
That's where you went wrong. Thinking again. Stop that.
How long do they go?
The longest that's been record is somebody being in the ring. I think it's for an hour 10 tops.
No, but how long does a Royal Rumble last?
The entire event is a 4-hour event. The Royal Rumble match has not gone past, I think, an hour 10.
That was like
Either
an
way,
attitude. I don't know.
she won from position 1, which is just an anomaly. And even though it's like,
It's an anomaly that's written in, but you know.
even though it's written in,
That's
the
happened a
physical
lot of times.
prowess that you have to do,
It's
to-
written in, but I will give her credit where credit's due. That takes a lot of endurance just to.
especially
you know,
because Rhea Ripley is a strongman character. She throws people.
that's her whole job.
Strong woman. Get it right.
I'm sorry, I can't take that seriously.
And some of the people she lifted like she's amazing. Nia Jax is not someone who's easy to throw. Nia Jax is incredible.
Nia Jax is not easy to throw.
Nia Jax is an asshole who inadvertently created Becky Lynch's character because she broke her nose and knocked her out in the middle of the ring.
And now Becky Lynch is just a badass.
I kind of miss Becky Lynch's steampunk aesthetic, but that's literally just me.
No, the steampunk aesthetic was great, but it didn't work with the man after she literally got knocked out
Once she
in the
became
ring.
the man, I can understand leaving that behind, but it was a good era.
Oh no, I thought it was great when she came out looking like that, but when she literally stood there with a broken nose covered in blood saying what you got, I was like, yep, she's next.
That's the man.
But yeah, WWE also halftime that a character is so as you go, they're all wrestlers. They're characters. Most of them are not playing their true selves.
None of them are.
Some are.
Rhea Ripley has outwardly said she's kind of just playing herself.
Some of them let the character
Diamond Dallas
become
Page.
them.
He lives his character.
He's met Diamond Dallas Page.
Yes,
Some
I
of them
did.
let the character become
Did
them.
you? Did
I
you?
have a picture with Diamond Dallas Page. I met him in Mexico when he was doing his DDPY yoga.
Did you do any like wrestling things with him? Did you?
Oh
'cause
yeah, I was half in the bag in Mexico while Victoria was on the phone looking at it, and I was totally doing wrestling moves with a guy
No,
who was 55-60 in
I
the
didn't know.
sand.
No, I didn't know if you did because you've told me a story about how there was, I can't remember what it was, but Triple H was like, I'm going to show you how wrestlers will take, it's going to sound weird.
That was the Tough Enough TV show.
It's going to sound weird with the way that I phrase
God,
it.
I forgot about
but
that
specifically, the wrestlers' pulled punches that they do, the word for it is called a bump.
No, a bump is when you fall and hit the ring.
I thought that was what it is.
No,
Okay,
when
I know
you
we're
drop on
keeping
your
a
back.
tally for like how many times we get distracted. Can we also keep a tally for how many times they're incorrect about things?
I can't count that high.
But so,
You're right. I
It's-
only have 10 fingers.
but no,
take
that's
my
actually a
shoes off.
skill. Because if you
I
watch
only
it,
got 20, man.
if you watch wrestling, every punch they throw, as much as the hits are exaggerated, it still looks like they actually got punched.
Usually, sometimes, occasionally.
Wait till you get the really good ones where they actually do, and they're just straight up stiff matches. For instance, when Goldberg accidentally, quote unquote, mule kicked Bret Hart in the head and knocked him the F out in WCW, and actually was the beginning of the end of his career.
Really?
He misjudged the kick, and Bret Hart was a little bit too close, and he caught him with a full-on backspin kick in the face.
Yeah, wasn't that understandable? Like it was an accident?
No, because Goldberg was being a bit of a jerk-off about
Oh.
it afterwards, and this was WCW, so nobody cared.
We can talk about some very
My dad
cool.
says that as WrestleMania went on, the guy next to us got drunker and drunker, and also, for the record, wouldn't stop over-analyzing the show and didn't just let us, like, enjoy the show. He was like, they're trying to do this with this, and this character is going to be that. And I'm like, can you shut up and watch the match? But anyways,
Because like as much as their characters, most of the fun of WWE
watch.
is just
watch the show.
watching people
Just cheer.
throw each other around and jump like 10 feet in the air and land on someone.
No, you know what I think is the best part about WrestleMania is when they bring in the surprises and they try to do homages to the areas, like Philadelphia. What was the big thing Philly was known for? ECW, baby. So what happens? They brought in all like different things about ECW. They had Bubba Ray Dudley show up to be the guest referee for the Philly street fight, and in the middle of it, one of the characters got in his face. He pulled out his Bubba Ray Dudley glasses, went full character, and was helping them do old school Dudley Boys moves. It was hysterical.
When will I be able to watch WrestleMania? Probably when I'm home, right? It'll be on Peacock by then.
If not, I'll buy it.
Alright, cool.
I own the other 39.
I just want to watch it because
My dad does
there
Bubba
was
Ray
one.
Dudley.
So for all of you people who, whether you enjoy sports or are from South Jersey, there was one special guest or entrance for WrestleMania.
Yeah, the real Philly homage.
Oh, when
Jason Kelsey.
Jason Kelsey.
And don't forget the other guy who came out there. There was two members of the Eagles. The one I cannot remember his name.
My dad's probably gonna text
And
it.
your
to me
mom
soon.
will know.
All right, let's see.
No, the true Philly homage was night 2 at the beginning, when you listen to the commentators ask what the hell was Seth Rollins doing when he had, for those up here in the north, they don't understand what it is,
Oh.
the Mummers Parade. All the string bands were playing, and then Seth Rollins came out in a Mummers outfit, and
I
all the
know.
commentators were like, what the hell is
I know.
this?
My dad's like, what is he wearing? Yeah, I'm like, what is he wearing? Oh my god.
He's a mummer.
He's a mummer.
And then what they did do this, Jason Kelsey did
Lane
that
Johnson.
same
So
crap.
the Mummer Parade.
Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson.
It was
the
like, yeah,
second
my mom
one
said the same
there.
thing. Lane Johnson.
I would like you to point
But-
out this is now the third point that we
So-
are now going to divert.
No,
No, but this is important because I don't know
The
what's being
Mummers
talked
Parade
about.
is a yearly tradition in Philly where there's a big parade with fantastical costumes on New Year's Day. Jordyn, how
String
did the
bands.
Mummers Parade start?
Oh god, I don't know. Why are you putting me on
A
the
bunch
spot?
of drunk guys.
Drunk guys playing string bands and cross-dressing.
Fantastic.
So now it's just a bunch of people in very fantastical outfits having fun.
And hammered.
Oh, totally hammered.
A very important part of being a mummer.
A
Yes.
very important part in general, but
Fantastic.
But yes, WrestleMania, they're very good at paying homage. Like, specifically, they also will just ingest other cultures. Like, fun fact, John Cena, the wrestler, speaks perfect Mandarin because of how much he's done in China.
Big
and he has a
chilling.
gigantic bald spot in the back of his head now, which is great watching him try to hide it.
They're also oftentimes wrestlers, as much as they can be assholes. They're also good people. Want to know a fun fact that I think most
Bing
people know by
chilling.
then? What's a fun fact about John Cena that shows how good of a person he is?
He holds the world's
Bing
record.
chilling.
World record for most amount of Make-A-Wishes done.
That too.
That's impressive.
And,
He- I
well,
don't
that's
think he-
because the women would wish they never
I
hooked
don't-
up with him and didn't got pregnant. Oh,
I don't
sorry,
think-
wrong wish.
Whoopsie.
I don't think he's ever like said no to one. He's just a good guy.
because, you know, it's
He likes
he's
kids.
pretty. Don't say it like
He does. He enjoys
Phrasing.
taking care of children and
He
helping
does,
them
he
out.
does.
Phrasing.
Wow, you dirty-minded people.
But yeah, they
like he's just when you have that kind of like position in the company and you have that kind of influence on people and especially like the younger generation, that's the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
He
Just,
was
you know.
he was the ruthless era, or was it the ruthless aggression era's version of Hulk Hogan? Is really
I
you could
thought,
say.
oh yeah, no,
That's a good way to
he's
say
after
it.
Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Attitude is Stone Cold.
No, Attitude Era ended just after 2001.
So for those of you who don't know, WWE has a bunch of eras. One of the
Taylor
most famous,
Swift.
the one that formed what WWE is now, the Attitude Era.
And why did they have the Attitude Era?
Because they were in a war with the other major wrestling company at the time, the WCW.
Oh, see, they do listen every now
Like,
and again.
Huh? What do
And
you-
yeah, it was a war. Like
Oh, it was
basically a
driving a tank up to the front gates of the other
But
wrestling
what
company.
sparked the war? Ooh.
You always got to bring the tank up.
It's funny the fact that a bunch of guys just got a tank.
It's because it was literally they were in the same town at two different arenas, so they showed up at Monday Nitro, knocking on the door, and the one guy goes, "Hey, can I get my job back?"
He didn't.
No, they did it on purpose because they fired him. And what's funny is all the WCW characters that got fired and became huge stars. For instance, The Undertaker was a
Yeah.
character in WCW, fired. He became The Undertaker. And
Was Mick Foley fired or did he leave on his
yeah,
own?
no, he was fired, and as Cactus Jack, and then he ended up at the Faces of Foley. Stone Cold
Mick
Steve
Foley's
Austin
so
was
good.
stunning. Steve Austin, he was fired.
Yeah. Stone Cold Austin 316.
Said I just whooped your ass.
I just whooped your ass. The guy, one of the most famous
Why is he
wrestlers
making
of all
that
time.
face?
The guy who's legendary for entering a ring, cracking 2 beers, and downing them both before starting a match.
That is a lie. That is
I thought he
falsehood
did it
number
before.
47.
He's done it before.
No, he did it afterwards. You're thinking of Sandman in ECW, who would come down to the ring wrapped in barbed wire with a frickin' kendo stick in his hand. He would chug a beer, smash it on his head, and then he would get in the ring. Stone Cold would always drink after as a celebration.
And everyone loves Stone Cold. He doesn't wrestle as much anymore because
He's retired.
he's retired and he's old enough where his body is like really ruined.
So am I.
Like it's his knee specifically because he does some moves that are really hard on his knees.
It's always the knees.
And his neck after Owen Hart broke it.
Did the stunner ruin his knees or?
No, he just has bad knees,
Yeah.
but he got his neck broken
So-
because Owen Hart gave him a pile driver for real.
The Stone Cold Stunner, by the way, is a great move. It's just very simple. You kick someone in the stomach, jump up, grab him by the neck, and drop him.
Yeah.
And
And it's iconic.
and there's a fun little bit for WWE, which started because The Rock so Stone Cold is a very serious character. He takes no nonsense and is just having fun in his own like I'm serious way. But The Rock one day decided I want to break Stone Cold. So upon getting hit with Stone Cold Stunner, The Rock bounced into the air, flailed like a fish, and hit the ground. And then you watched as Stone Cold walked away with a smile on his face.
Iconic.
That never happens. So now
No, you missed it when he actually lost it and cracked up laughing at the commentator's desk when it was Owen Hart versus Mankind in a street fight. Mankind got hit with a gigantic, like one of those like 50-gallon bags of popcorn type things. Popcorn all over the ring. Mick Foley's laying in it, and he starts screaming "Popcorn Angels," and he's making a popcorn angel in the middle of the ring. Stone Cold's trying to be serious. He took off his headset, and he's away from the mic, and you just watch his shoulders going up and down as he's cracking up laughing.
So now Stone Cold. So now
you
that
just
became
snort?
a bit of with the stunner.
So I
of
snort sometimes.
You tried
Shut up.
of whenever you got hit with a stunner, and I think they still do it now. You bounce
Bounce.
as high as you can.
Yeah, but you watch people fail epically, and it's
No,
fantastic. Like
so
when Linda McMahon would
besides
get
the
hit,
Rock
she's like,
one, besides the Rock one, there's one of my favorites. So Vince McMahon is a piece of shit.
Yay.
His family though was famous for something: getting the shit beat out of them.
Love
What was that again? Stop with that damn noise.
Oh, sorry. So
Yeah,
specifically,
you keep on doing that. I've noticed.
it's not on purpose.
You go.
Specifically, Shane McMahon got hit with a stunner by Stone Cold Steve Austin. But as he did that, his mouth was full of beer. So as he got bounced into the air, a beautiful arc of beer cascaded throughout the air as he dropped.
Such a waste of beer.
It's such a waste of beer.
Such a beautiful display.
No, it was a waste. At least
No,
do something different.
Better question: what kind of beer was it? Because
Uh,
that determines how much of a waste it
it
is.
was a Steve Weiser, so it wasn't anything that great. But still,
Okay.
I think it was actually PBR.
All I was gonna say is if it's goddamn Natty Light, that is not
However,
a waste.
hey, don't you dare speak ill about PBR because PBR is great.
I have no idea what that is. Now we're getting off
honey.
topic.
Pabst
Honey.
Blue Ribbon. God, that is off
that
topic
make
number
3?
5.
Oh.
How are you in college and you don't know what the hell PBR is?
Because my
We're first
dad
year.
drinks
We're
Busch Light.
I
we
know
can't.
what that is.
We can't drink.
No, even I know what that is.
We can't drink, pops.
You're not
Also-
supposed to, however. Let's
We
just
can't
Also, my
There's
dad.
a difference between having knowledge and using the knowledge.
Also, my dad will either call it Pabst or Blue Ribbon. He never.
That's PBR.
That's
I know,
PBR.
but I'm saying
Anyways,
he never calls it by that.
So about wrestling,
Yeah. What do we want to talk about?
I did want to bring up like the history of like women in wrestling and stuff like that.
Go
because,
ahead.
You know, it doesn't.
Women in
come,
wrestling
it
now-
doesn't come from the best place.
Women in wrestling
but
now
are you gonna
are
not
badasses.
let
Well,
a
wait.
woman talk about women in wrestling?
It actually started at a great place, and then it went
and then
down
they
the
went,
tank.
and then they made it bad.
Because it
and
was
then they made it good
the
again.
80s that they screwed up. Because remember, like Wendy Richter was still decent. The Fabulous Moolah held that title for what, 15 years?
Yeah.
I do want to mention wrestling now with women. They're some of the most badass characters in wrestling and some of my favorites.
Are you gonna let me talk about women in
Yeah,
wrestling
I just
or not?
I just want to mention now
They're not
it's
binary
better.
in wrestling.
They're awesome.
We'll get there one day.
We already
there
are. They're
one
right
day.
there.
They're,
I could kick their ass if you give me a chance.
I'll give you a
Kick
quarter and a
both of your
Snickers.
asses.
I'm allergic to Snickers, sir.
Stick it in their mouth and let them choke on it while you put them down. Next.
I just wanted to preface with now wrestling women are awesome and some of the coolest and badass characters. Like there's now like all women wrestling groups called like specifically Damage Control, which is really cool.
Damage control is insane.
It's highlighting
In a good way.
the awesomeness of actually Japanese wrestling and the culture as a whole. But let's talk
Yes.
about some of the all-women organizations that kind of help build it up, like Shimmer.
Go on.
I've got nothing.
It was
there.
just,
Stop.
it was, well, it was, there was
Stop.
for a while WWE was screwing up because they had the Divas title and the Girly title, and let's have
God, and-
dress matches and mud rat matches, and
We're gonna put them in pink because they're the girls, but the guys are
let's put them in Jello matches, and let's see who does something stupid, and ooh, yeah.
I'm thinking about one type of match that I don't even want to talk about. Jordyn, you can take
Oh,
the
we're
lead on
gonna
that.
talk
Yeah.
about it. We're gonna get there.
let's
There's
get
You can take the
all
lead on that
pretty
match.
Girls in their pretty makeup, and they walk around in their little bikinis, and they go wah, and they pull each other's hair, and they go woo 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 woo, and they
I missed that whole thing, and I actually watched it happen live.
bra and panty matches.
You can talk about those.
That
I'm
was
not
that
mentioning
was
them.
the dress matches. So you actually get rip them out of the dresses. Whoever's in the bar and panties first loses. Except when they did the Sable because they were trying to screw her over fast. She knew she was gonna lose the title, so she hit somebody with that, ripped off her dress before the thing was said, "Oh, it's an Australian bra and panties match. Whoever is wearing the dress at the end loses. Haha, Sable, no title for you." She was so pissed.
God, that's such just.
Because they were trying to make sure she didn't screw them over. Another Montreal screw job. That'll be in a second. But no, Shimmer, it was like one of the companies. I think it was actually coming out of Japan. Like the Japanese women wrestling scene was amazing. And they started picking up on it. They brought in some really good wrestlers. But it was actually NXT because of Triple H and Shawn Michaels and the work that they did. They really brought these ladies up and said, no, they're real wrestlers. They're not just eye candy and fixations anymore. So they stopped like getting quote unquote models and they got like actual athletes. So
Which is why there are a bunch of butthurt guys on the internet like, why do all the female wrestlers look like men now? No, they look like athletes
Yeah.
now. Sit back down.
And also, I just want to say, female wrestlers are some of the best at flying around the ring.
Female wrestlers are some of the best at being female wrestlers. Thank
They
you for
look-
coming to my TED Talk.
They look
Lita.
the closest to what literal wrestler
Like,
would look like anyway.
I don't know if she still wrestles, but want to know who was once a WWE wrestler? Former deadliest woman alive, Ronda Rousey.
she
Oh, I
doesn't. She's
remember
out.
her.
She stopped wrestling because she had a couple concussions and she was a jackass.
She's a good wrestler though.
Not really. She actually was too rough. Her and Nia Jax were known for being too stiff in the ring.
Damn. But wrestling does have a lot of really cool things like that, and also can be really funny when they mess up scripts. One of my favorite clips I've ever seen was during a table match where you have to put a guy through a table. The Big Show was on the edge of the ring above the table.
Can I keep talking
Oh,
about
yeah, go ahead.
women in wrestling for
Yeah.
like 2 seconds?
Yes.
See, this was actually originally the problem, is that they didn't give women nearly as much screen time as,
I
you know.
I hate you.
We're going to start with calling this now the evolution scene.
hate you. I hate
No,
you.
my real problem with how they used to treat women wrestlers is that they were like, oh, what else can we do with these women wrestlers? They're not getting quite as much screen time on the show as the men. I know what we'll do. We'll give them a reality show called Total Divas.
Oh,
Actually,
God.
that if you ever watch it, that show is actually kind of cool because you
Was it?
watch Natty Neidhart.
I only saw a couple episodes.
She screwed up huge, got pissed drunk one night and drunk dialed Stephanie McMahon, and they actually have it on camera when Stephanie brought her into her office and chewed her out.
Okay, that's good.
Like, it was actually like dealing with the real crap that was going on in their lives. Like, they did one, the Bella twins did theirs. You actually found out how much of a crazy OCD psycho John Cena really is about things. Because they had Daniel Bryan was like living with them at the time. Oh, it was fantastic.
But the fact that the way that it was marketed still bothers me. But
Yeah,
like,
marketed as hot chicks.
The marketed it as Total Divas, pink, sparkles. They've got drama and they drink wine together. Like, it was TLC.
And now Triple H went, they're cool. Let them do their thing.
And now they
'Cause-
actually. I can sum it up. Here's the best way I can sum it up. The reason that the female wrestling scene in WWE is better now is because they finally didn't put the focus on the female part. They're just letting them be wrestlers and
Yep.
athletes as they are without being like, oh, but get this. They're ladies. They're women. They're women with they're ladies and they're pretty. Wow. They're just.
Whoa, hold on. Pump the brakes.
I mean, they still.
Whoa.
What?
They're women?
Holy shit, dude.
Oh my
Did you
God.
know that they're like women?
So, wait, they got testicles?
They got like boobies. That's why they wear the thing on their
Just for the
their
record,
chest.
so did Dusty Rhodes.
But yeah, like
But you cannot walk by Dusty Rhodes had boobs.
now the most.
How do you not?
I'll bring her up again. Rhea Ripley, the champion.
Dusty Rhodes
the,
top surgery when?
The current Rhea Ripley, we've mentioned
Never.
her.
He's got D cups.
She is the
He's dead.
She is the champion of WWE Women's Wrestling. She's not only the strongman character,
She's a
she's
champion
also
of
a
Raw.
really cool like punk type character. Like black lipstick, wears really cool clothes.
She's a goth metal chick. That's not punk. That's goth metal.
It's goth metal with a
I didn't want to say goth.
slight kink aesthetic.
I wasn't sure if I want to say. They call her mommy.
Yeah.
That's the BDSM.
She wore a leather harness out on WrestleMania.
Good for her.
I'm wearing one right now. So what?
Part of the reason that WWE is so much better now is now the guy in charge, Triple H, he's a former wrestler. And the other person in charge, his wife, was also a former wrestler.
His wife is not in charge.
I thought she was high up in the company.
No.
Can we take a minute for the WrestleMania costumes? Actually,
I want to give Rey Mysterio full props. He came out in his gear was full Eagles green with a full with swoop wings, and he had a special green Rey Mysterio mask. Like, it was full tilt, game on.
Immaculate.
Sorry, everybody up here in North Jersey, you bunch of Giants fools, but I got to give it to the Birds on that one.
No, there's some Jets fans here too.
Even worse.
even worse.
My cousin was a Jets fan.
Don't care.
Oh, so he fixed himself?
Oh no, she
Is
moved
that like
to Florida.
conversion therapy? He's no longer a Jets fan?
No, my
Conversion
cousin moved
therapy.
to Florida and then she moved to Colorado.
How does that change what team you root for?
Because she
She's a front runner wherever she goes.
No matter
Not really.
No matter where I live, I'm rooting for the Eagles.
No, the
No
real
matter where I
reason is
go,
she works
Eagles.
for ESPN with football stuff.
Eagles.
That's the real reason
With
she doesn't
football
root for any
stuff.
With
particular
football
team anymore.
stuff, honey, sweetheart.
She really just went with the football stuff. You know, the thingy with the thingy?
Oh yeah, the hockey stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff with hockey.
Can I just mention
Yes.
one of the some funny things when they go off script? You can tell when they go off script. Because as I mentioned, Big Show was in a table match. He was on the edge of the ring, hanging
Oh,
onto
we're
the
going back to
ropes.
this. Okay.
Someone
Thank God
he
they
took a
kept track of
hit,
it.
and you watched as one. The Big Show is called the Big Show. He was a very big guy.
No shit.
He goes to
7'4",
catch
500.
himself, puts his foot on the table. Table breaks, and you look, and then they pan to his face,
forgot about
and
that.
you just see just the pure look of, oh shit, I was supposed to win this match.
I forgot about Big Show stepping through a table.
Or they came up with a term called brocking a match. Because I think it was WrestleMania 21. He screwed up so bad he was supposed to do a backflip off the top
Shit,
rope.
the manager from the job I'm trying to get is calling me.
Uh-oh.
Go.
Oh boy.
Oh, can we do it on the air?
No.
No,
Oh.
this is actually serious.
So, no, the dude Brock Lesnar, he screwed it up so bad that he landed on his own head and didn't break his neck. So ever since then, they called it brocking a match.
Brock Lesnar does have some cool things, like one of his signature moves is called Suplex City, Where,
we don't talk about him. He's just a bunch of a
Yeah.
dirtbag as
Yeah.
Vince McMahon.
But it's a cool move that I like. It's called Suplex City. It's very simple. So you do a suplex, do another suplex.
Okay, now
Do another
Victoria,
suplex.
do you know what a suplex is?
I think
You
I
pick
do.
a
In
guy
this
up and
case, it's a German suplex. What's called you stand behind the person, you wrap your arms around their stomach, and
Okay,
you
yeah.
throw them backwards.
Okay, yeah.
He would keep grabbing him and just keep throwing the dude and throwing the dude.
And
It looked like making a human accordion.
and you hear the entire crowd start counting.
Oh God.
But I think that's the thing about wrestling is like, yes, it is a modern day soap opera where it's okay that people do dumb things. Because in soap opera, they fake the stuff, and wrestling, it's fake too. But you actually get to watch them swing a chair or put somebody through a table. And my wife watches the Stupid Housewives. I don't watch it. I think that actually makes me feel stupider. But I'm always screaming, flip a table, flip a table. And WWE, they will flip the table.
And then put you through it.
And then put you through it. You know?
And then jump off of like a 12-foot ladder and land on you.
But what's great is like when the crowd starts getting behind it and they start chanting along or they start feeding into it and hearing them explode. Like on WrestleMania, we're going to go back to that. The main event was Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. For anybody who didn't watch it, spoiler alert now. Just warning you now. Cody Rhodes won. Okay? Spoiler alert. But the way they ended it, when they had different characters show up, one of them was, spoiler alert, when The Undertaker arrived. All you heard was the gong from his music. The whole arena, 73,000 people, lost their damn minds. And then the lights went out. Lights came on. He's in the ring. They lost it even more. He choke slams a guy. Lights go out. He's gone. Total 45 seconds of amazement.
If somehow you don't know who The Undertaker is, so imagine like this absolutely massive, like 6'5" to 6'7" guy.
He's 6'10".
Jesus. 6'10" guy whose entire persona is just terrifying. There's a type of match they don't do anymore. It was called buried alive matches. You lose, they would bury you alive. Well, you know what The Undertaker was famous for? Losing those matches. And then coming back in the coffin.
No. He would lose the matches because then they would use it as a chance to rebrand and redo his character every time. Okay, hold on. We're going to take a moment here. Thumbs up. Is that a good, bad, or indifferent? What happened?
It's good.
What does that mean?
I gotta squeeze
I squeezed this.
We'll
What
get
did
into
what
it
did you
later.
get?
Squeeze it.
Did you get a job? You get an interview? Did they just call you and say, get off the radio?
To discuss my availability for the summer and when I can come in for an interview for the job for the
Nice.
summer.
Don't hire her. Don't hire her.
Hire me.
We
Hire
need,
Jordyn,
we,
hire
Please,
Jordyn.
please,
we,
please,
we
please,
need her
please,
for a
please.
radio show.
Please, please, please,
What
please,
kind of
please.
job?
What kind of job? Ocean City Coffee Company
Oh, nice.
down in Ocean City.
Ocean City, New Jersey, the best shore town?
Ocean City, New Jersey, best shore town in America.
It is not because there's no alcohol.
Wildwood.
So, anyway.
Not with that attitude.
Well, they'll never get it either. But The Undertaker, whenever he would do these matches, he would disappear. A lot of it was because it would be for injuries, the buried alive matches or casket matches for The Undertaker that he always loses.
Yeah.
But it would, because to take care of injuries, write him out of storylines for months, and then he'd come back as a new iteration of The Undertaker. His was the most protected character for 30 years, Jordyn?
Also, one of the most famous things he would do that still scares the shit out of me is he would be under the ring. You don't know he's under the ring, and he breaks through it.
Oh
Wait,
my God.
Dad wanted us to talk about Screwjob. Did you talk about Montreal?
Oh, the Montreal Screwjob? Oh, that was fantastic when it happened because I remember the whole thing. So Vince McMahon and all of them were dealing with in the 90s Bret Hart. Bret Hart was the champion, but Vince
Bret
couldn't
the Hitman
afford
Hart.
him anymore because everybody was jumping ship between WCW and WWF at the time.
And Bret the Hitman Hart is amazing. He's incredible.
He had his moments, but
the icon factor. Is
Yeah.
he sucked. So what happened was he was supposed to they wanted to lose the title at Survivor Series 97, but Bret Hart was like, I'm not losing it in Canada and I'm not losing it to Shawn Michaels because they actually had real life beef. Like they hated each other with a passion back then. So the match was supposed to end. Shawn Michaels had Bret Hart in his signature submission. Bret Hart reverses it, wins the match, and then he dropped the title at another pay-per-view. What really happened is Shawn Michaels puts Bret Hart in his signature submission. Vince McMahon ran down, told the guy at the ring to hit the bell, and the referee also called the match because Vince screwed him. and nobody knew what was going on. Shawn Michaels tried to pretend, I don't know what's happening, but he knew because him and Triple H got the hell out of Dodge with the title. And that actually ended up with Vince McMahon getting knocked out backstage because Bret Hart punched him out, and you saw him on Monday Night Raw the next night with a huge black eye.
Good. He deserved it.
And then he showed up on WCW like 2 months later when his contract was freed enough to do that. But it did a lot. Like, they almost lost a lot of wrestlers. The Undertaker, Mankind, Mick Foley, and somebody else, and Owen Hart. They all tried to leave to go to WCW, but their contracts were ironclad. They couldn't get out of them.
Mick Foley is also one of my favorite wrestlers because he's had a lot of characters. A lot of them were very, very goofy.
No.
No, not all.
Dude Love
was awesome.
I love Dude Love.
Goofy and awesome can be concurrent.
Yeah,
They can
Dude Love. So imagine like a hippie, but he's a wrestler.
You don't have to mansplain to me.
We're a radio show.
No, non-binary explain to you.
You don't have to human-splain me.
Ooh.
It's a radio show. I'm explaining it to the audience.
I know, you were
I don't see the audience.
you were making eye contact with me.
That's because you're just talking.
I've gotten better at this. I'm not like redlining this.
No, you're fine.
It's when we layer voices on top of each other.
Once enough voices are
This is
speaking.
probably the worst episode for me to try.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Do you
Well,
remember
if
when we
you-
had Nova?
No, because there was only like 2 peaks. This entire thing has been peaks.
No.
Well, looks
I've looked
like
away
you're going
I've
to
been
work
looking
at it
away
if you
from
want to
every
get
now
that
and then.
food from Jordan's mom.
That is true.
You want those chicken cutlets? You're gonna have to work for it.
I haven't had any of it.
Do you want that pasta?
You want pasta?
No, I've had the pasta. That's true.
But you ain't got the chicken cutlets yet. You got to earn them, girl.
Those chicken cutlets are good.
So we have 10 minutes. What do we want to talk about with WWE?
Well, let's
just
talk
got a
about
cow
WWE.
screen.
What did they do in the 90s that was huge? Everybody became an author. Stone Cold put out a book. Ric Flair put out a book.
No, let's
But
talk
it
about
all
the book
started
era.
actually because of Mick Foley. If anybody gets a chance to read it, Mick Foley put out a book called Have a Nice Day, A Tale of Blood and Sweat Socks. It's, when I bought it, or somebody bought it for me, it was like 600 pages. Probably the easiest and best read of an autobiography I ever had. And it really goes into what it was like living on the road, dealing with stuff. Dude lived out of his car for a year eating peanut butter and tuna only because that's all he could afford.
Mick Foley's also one of the most dedicated wrestlers. Because what's one thing that sets him apart from wrestlers looks-wise?
A good biography. What?
He has no teeth.
And he's missing an ear.
That is true. He is missing an ear. And he actually opened the book with that as to what happened in Germany when he lost the ear.
Because, mind you, that was lost in a wrestling match. And he didn't, go, you know what? I'll stop there.
He didn't know it happened. He didn't realize he was missing the ear.
But no, even after that, even as he
Fun.
knows he's missing an ear, he goes, I'll keep wrestling.
Well, no, because they actually talked about the book. He was in this hospital, and they did plastic surgery to hide a pocket in the side of his head so that he could ever do plastic surgery. And he asked the nurse, what could you do with the ear flap that Ric Flair had picked up off the side of the ring and was holding it in milk? Nurse goes, it no good. And she just threw it out in front of me. I just watched my ear just go in the garbage.
This is entirely unrelated. I just realized I forgot to turn in my quiz last week in Calc.
Speaking of losing an ear.
Whoopsies. Whoopsies.
Okay, yeah, that was very off topic. You guys can continue.
I think that would be number 7.
Mom, we haven't talked about the video game because the video game is not that important to the overall WWE.
Whoa.
As much as I
You
love them.
shut- you shut your filthy whore
Don't
mouth.
put all those video games under the same umbrella.
I grew up with WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2011
Don't
playing.
put them under the same
The amount of
umbrella.
hours I have in that is uncountable.
Uh-huh. No, dude, the video games are great because they actually added to the crazy nostalgia. You could make the dream matches. Like if you wanted to see Jake the Snake Roberts get into a match with Stone Cold Steve. Oh, no, that's a bad example because they actually do that. No, with The Rock and Jake the Snake. Or The Undertaker from 1988 versus Undertaker of 2010. That's just be awesome.
You ever just want to see John Cena hit John Cena with an attitude adjustment?
I did it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how buggy the games are. It's just the fact that you can live out that fun little silly fantasy.
WWE is also, let's bring up, it's goofy. One of my favorite wrestling
The
moves.
goofiness and the gimmicks.
Yeah.
Are
Like,
what
one of my
keep
favorite
it
wrestling moves is, so, put your arm out in front of you, hit your wrist, flick your arm up.
The Cobra.
Hit your elbow, hit your arm up. Flick your wrist around and then hit someone in the face with it.
Santino Marella and the Cobra.
It is one of the stupidest moves and led to a really funny clip of him hitting that and then two wrestlers playing snake charm sounds as he starts going in between the two of them.
just turn it like that.
WWE acknowledges how ridiculous it can be
Yes.
and has fun with it.
Oh no, and it used to be way worse. We'll just talk about the gobbledygooker.
I was gonna say gobbledygook.
Hornswoggle.
No, he was awesome. You
No,
shut your
Hornswoggle's
I love
good.
Hornswoggle.
Hornswoggle's good. The
Bastion-
gobbledygooker.
The Bastion Booger.
Oh,
Doink the Clown.
the clown.
The Honky Tonk Man.
And nowadays they just have people like R-Truth.
No, but
you
I love
speak no
I
ill about
love
Ron
Art.
Killings.
speak no
I
ill
love
will
R-Truth.
of all praise our
Have you
truth.
have you seen the clip of him?
Trying to get a pinfall and
Have you
no
seen
pinfall
Have you seen the
match.
clip of him trying to making Brock Lesnar laugh?
Yes, that was his goal. He actually went out of his way
Yeah.
to make people laugh.
He wasn't meant to be out there that night.
I love it when he does stuff with little Jimmy.
So what happened was so Brock Lesnar, really giant guy. R-Truth started talking about like, you're gonna go down no matter if you're a big man, and then says the name of Brock Lesnar's manager right next to him.
Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Paul E. Dangerously.
The Hall of Fame inductee, Paul Heyman.
The former owner and creator of ECW Wrestling, Paul Heyman, known as Paul E. Dangerously in WCW, Paul Heyman.
The advocate for the reigning, defending, undisputed, etc.
No, he's not. Not anymore.
Not anymore, but
He was the
a
one
good
behind
bit.
the one behind
It was a
the
good bit.
1 and 21.
Yeah.
Also, I will say,
Put some respect
if you
on
do
the
want
man.
more, what's another word for like additional materials for this episode?
Nerd shit.
Go to the streaming
Trigger
website.
reading.
Go to the streaming site Peacock. Look up The Last Ride.
Oh, The Undertaker.
Oh,
That was
yes.
actually an amazing documentary.
It's a documentary
Say
about
Peacock,
the
nobody
retirement
bats an
of one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, The Undertaker, because he had 2 retirement matches. Because the first
he
one
had
was
like
shit.
4.
He's like, oh
Okay.
god, what band is
Hey.
it that always does like a billion different farewell tours?
Van Halen.
Well, a lot of them do that, but yeah, Van Halen. Van Halen's farewell tour number 10.
But
The Rolling Stones.
For real this time.
The Undertaker had 2
Kiss.
permanent matches. The first permanent match was just bad.
And he admitted it.
So they went back and fixed it in one of the greatest matches of WWE history.
That's not how they fixed it. They fixed it by having him just come out and smoke John Cena.
Yeah.
Hey, remember that time the Undertaker and AJ Styles had the friggin'
That was probably one of the best things I've ever seen because it was the first real. They called it a cinematic match where they actually shot it like a movie,
I know, it was amazing.
and it was done so well that other organizations like some of the locals and indies tried to do it, and man, they shit the bed.
But it was so well done when they did it.
But now let's talk about. We got a minute or two. Let's talk about people who left the WWE, became huge, and came back with their characters. Matt Hardy.
Oh, I didn't realize you were gonna say come back with their characters, and I'm like, so are we gonna talk about Moxley or like?
No, so some of the guys like Matt Hardy, he left. He went to another couple of organizations, and he created this wild, insane character who like had different voices and this fake British thing, and it became so wildly popular that when he came back to WWE, he was not supposed to talk about it. He was not supposed to be this character. He wasn't. They tried to avoid it, and people just kept screaming for it. So he ended up creating it and becoming the character anyways. Like, contract be damned. John Moxley left. He was Dean Ambrose. Now he's in AEW.
And isn't his real name like Jonathan Good or something?
Uh,
I know his last name's Good, which was really funny. In my
but is he
opinion.
that good? Well, let's look at Adam Copeland. Edge retired. Not really. He came back. But then you have the guys who retired, and you wish they stayed retired. Ric Flair. Unfortunately, I love Ric Flair. He did a great final match in WWE with Shawn Michaels. If he walked away, it'd been fantastic. No, he came back, tried a couple things, and his final retirement match was what? 2021, 2022?
What?
At the age of 70-something, and he looked so bad through that entire match in Mexico
He
that it
got
was
to
just...
the point where he was walking like this unironically. Like, this is just how he walks now.
He was an old guy with no hair. He's a white guy, but at the end of the match, he was purple.
Ric Flair is still one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
But-
He's one of the greatest mic men, but he ain't one of the greatest wrestlers anymore.
Now,
He pushed himself too hard.
I still think the two of the greatest, in my opinion, the 2 greatest mic men will forever be The Rock and Stone Cold.
We're close. I mean, I will give the Rock.
Victoria, what do you think?
About what? There's so
Exactly.
many things that got discussed. Which one?
What do you think about your calc quiz you didn't hand in?
So we actually give him a paper copy also when we leave the classroom, so I still got credit,
Well-
but I lost points for not turning it in.
Either
on
way,
time.
we need
Ladies
to
and gentlemen, we're closing in on ending time.
So thanks for listening to Hyperfixation of the Week. This week we actually did stay on one topic. Congratulations, guys.
Mostly.
Congratulations.
Only 7 skips.
Most of the
We
off
ended
topics
on the-
were still relevant.
We ended on the same topic we started on, so congratulations to all of us.
Technically. Good
So,
job.
Thanks for having me on.
thank you all for listening. I have been Phoenix. I'm tall with pinkish blonde hair.
Strawberry lemonade.
It kind of works really well, actually.
It looks like unmixed strawberry.
Oh, and they
lemonade.
wear a cardigan.
And I wear cardigans a lot, even though I really shouldn't be right now. They're comfy, okay?
I'm Jordyn. I'm short with definitely purple hair, I promise. I wear a lot of hoodies and probably pajama pants. This is one of my few actual human pants
You and
days.
is it Birkenstocks weather yet?
It's Birkenstocks with socks weather.
All right.
I love you, but I will not go on campus in just Birkenstocks. I don't want this
Good.
campus to see my toes.
Good.
Anyways, Victoria,
And
how can
I'm-
people find you?
You don't find me.
That's right, she's napping.
No, actually, now
We're
it's
playing
just
Stardew Valley.
yeah. The next couple weeks though, it's gonna be me trying to finish my goddamn English work.
Yeah,
And
see
then-
you all in studio.
And then there's my father. You won't find him. He doesn't go here. He has a job.
I have a good job, and thank God, because I'm going to deal with this bullshit in a regular. But I have a beard and I'm gray hair.
A little bit of gray hair, only on your chin.
And a hat.
Your fault.
The hat, the baseball hat.
You're welcome. And he wears baseball hats a lot.
Damn right.
Thank you all for listening.
Thank you all for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Deuces.
Bye.